here it is, my 1960 Mark II 2.4. The main difference between, I would say this, the 3.4 and the 3.8s, you can come over and you can tell a 2.4 right away by the two Solex downdrafts on it. The 3.4, 3.8s had side drafts. I'm not a Jaguar expert by any means. I think these badges, which mine's not really legible anymore, but I think, yeah, this says 2.4, and I think maybe the 3.4, 3.8 maybe had a red one or something. Some of the common problems with these, I would say, is manifolds cracking, which mine has a broken ear on it, so that's probably something very soon will be replaced. It runs pretty good when the fuel filter's not getting plugged up, and I'm assuming the carburetors will need to be opened up again and just blown out, cleaned out. It's got nice green antifreeze in it. I have driven it. I really like driving it. I put maybe 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles on it. Another cool little feature is in gear right now, but this is a push button starter right there, so you can fire it up inside when you're working on it. You turn it over, you can, kind of check for spark. You can, adjust timing, adjust the valve. Well, I'm not exactly sure of the procedure to adjust the valves. I know the cams have to come out and everything because it is a double overhead cam. 6-cylinder, I think it was rated about 120, 130 horsepower, something like that. Not crazy, but it gets down the road just fine. Have driven it at highway speeds, drives great. It's got issues like most old cars, they rattle, and the window anti-rattlers. You're gonna have to fix that. So I bought it from a guy who owned it for about 46 years. I think he may have said that this was his first car. Him and his dad kind of took to it. They bought it out of Chicago. It was originally bought new in Japan. Yes, it's a left-hand drive. Bought new in Japan. A captain in the armed forces, he had it. And I think I found who he was, and I have the heritage certificate of the name of the original owner. And I do believe he passed away in 2021. So probably won't be able to reunite it with the original owner. I'm not sure kids or anything like that. If he has kids that would like to see it or whatever, I'd be more than happy to get in contact with them if they somehow see this video. But yeah, it was bought new in Japan, 1960. It's early production 2.4. They didn't make very many 2.4s because they're not very desirable. They're slower than 3.4s, 3.8s, and it wasn't exactly a lot cheaper to produce than the 3.4, 3.8s. It's got some really funky looking master cylinders and reservoirs. Here's a brake master cylinder, here's the clutch master and reservoir. It's a little goofy. It's definitely not like driving an American car, but it's a lot of fun. I really like it. It's a lot tinier than I expected. I did buy it at an internet auction on Bring a Trailer, so I probably paid top dollar for it. But another thing we'll have to fix. This, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that. I'll have to take the door apart, figure that out. Body condition, the body is really, really good. It's got some scratches and stuff, but as far as rust goes, nothing. It's really, really, really nice. It needs a bath badly. Yeah, so I guess the story goes, the reason it has this interior, because it was originally a red leather car, which is a shame, but back in the 70s, him and his dad did the interior in this, and it matched his Lincoln at the time, I think. That's the same material that was in his Lincoln, I think, is what he told me. Very nice gentleman I bought it from. This seems to be about the only Jag that him and his dad kept over the years. His dad passed away in the 90s, I believe, and he ended up his dad kind of took ownership of the car for a long time, and then the son, when his dad passed away, his son kind of took it over again, and that's the gentleman I bought it from. So I think it's really been sitting since the 90s, and yes, it does run, it does drive, and he would occasionally drive it, but I don't think it's really been used in about 30 years. 25, 30 years. It has these really cool little flip down trays if I can get it to open. It's been a while since I opened it. It's got this beautiful, you can tell that this one's been closed a lot longer than this one because this one's not near as faded. So But yeah, so that's the story with the interior. I know it's not great. It's a little bit better in person, but not much. But it's doable for now, because interior kits are very expensive for these, and it is a 2.4, so that's something I have to consider. Putting a bunch of money into this car, is it worth the big bucks? Probably not, because it is a 2.4. So gotta have cup holders, which I've installed those expertly. And yeah, so there's the radio. It does work, which is kind of neat. But interior lights, the dome light, well, the dome light's not working off of this door, but it works off of that door. Yeah, there's two dome lights. But so I've got to do some electrical troubleshooting on the panel there, figure out what's going on, what's got power, what doesn't. There's bulbs burned out or fuses. There's really, I think, only 2 fuses on this car, and they're under the hood. Everything else is cloth braided 12 gauge for the most part. But yeah, super cool car. I really like it, and I'm hoping I can make it reliable. I think the gas tank is where we're going to start. So I'll get it up on jack stands and we'll start pulling the tank. Underside of this car is really clean too. I'm thinking the exhaust is going to have to be slightly disassembled, which it looks pretty new anyway, so that's good. I know this car had a ton of work done to it before I bought it. Carbs rebuilt, master cylinder, flake cylinder. But here's the gas tank right there. Well, that's good to know. I just noticed that the hanger is broken off of there, so we'll have to make something up a little bit nicer than that. And we'll start hosing stuff down with penetrating oil, and it looks like it's got a gas tank drain, so we'll go ahead and get a freaking bucket under here and see how much fuel I have to dispose of. Let's see if we can... I'm not sure that that's gonna budge. They're stripped out. Okay, we'll start disconnecting some fuel lines, I reckon. So I found a little cap that you can get into the sending unit in. I'm gonna disconnect these wires. We'll pull the sender out, see what it looks like in there, and see how much freaking gas is in it. Because like I said, I have no idea. I can't even remember the last time I put fuel in this thing, because it's been sitting in my garage as a paperweight for so long. So we'll see what it looks like too. Yep. This is definitely looking like this is a good idea, because this is nasty. Bad. On top of that, the fuel sending unit is seized. So the tank is not great. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not good. Oh, actually, the more I look at it, the worse it gets. Those are gigantic flakes sitting at the bottom of the tank in there. Yeah, that's not good. Somebody has already put an aftermarket pump in here, and one of our fuel pressure issues may be that line is pretty much freaking kinked right there. So it's probably just having a hard time sucking fuel up through. That's why it takes so long to prime, which things are starting to make sense here. So, but it looks like they used the stock SU fuel pump mount. And I'm not really a fan of these types of fuel pumps, although this may make pumping the tank out a little bit better, so we may just do that. I got a piece of fuel line cut going down into my bucket here. I'm gonna turn the ignition on, let the pump run, but you know, I know I'm changing the points, or I'm getting rid of the points and the coil and all that crap. It doesn't really matter, but why not? Let's see what our fuel flow looks like. See, this thing's taking forever to start pushing fuel, and I'm already pouring out rust chunks. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna blow some air through the line here and see if I'm wondering if the pickup may be a little blocked off or something. I don't know if you can see the rust chunks coming out. I cleaned this bucket before I used it, so not great. Alright guys, so I just cut this line loose, And that is what it looks like in there. Oh no, that is bad. I'm gonna pull this off of here. I don't even know if this pump's gonna suck anything, but holy crap, that is bad. That is just... wow. Yeah, so this is just gonna be a long, slow process, so I'll get this pulled out. I realized my new tank does not come with a fuel drain plug, so that's great, which I don't understand that. So I'm hoping I can actually get this one off, but I doubt that I will. I have a new gasket for it, but I don't have the new drain plug. So yay. I tried to get this fuel drain off one more time with a pipe wrench, and she's decided it doesn't want to come out anymore. I mean, it's in there. I'm not gonna mess with it. I've got the exhaust pulled down just because that little tip kind of falls along here somewhere. So just pulling that down out of the way. I've had penetrating oil sitting on all the mounting bolts. So I've got the lines disconnected. The pickup, there's not that much gas left in it, so it should be pretty easy to move around. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to drop the tank, and we'll see about getting this new one in. Looks like there's three bolts, 3 nuts. I'm not exactly sure where the tops of them are. There may just be studs, I'm not sure. I doubt it, but maybe we'll get lucky. This one's kind of under this little drip rail down here, this little valence. So that's gonna be a little fun to get that out, but we'll see. All right, so just a quick little dump out. That's not even trying. I mean, it's probably still usable if you send it out and have it cleaned, but I'll tell you, that drain plug, she did not want to come out, so I'm gonna have to get one of those on order, which I don't have. I can't believe the new tank doesn't come with one, but whatever. It's bad. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna disconnect the line right up here. Oh yeah. We'll flop that down into my bucket, and blow it out. We'll blow it out from the back to the front, and yeah, we'll hopefully get the fuel line nice and cleared up, and we'll spray a bunch of brake clean through it and get it nice and clear before we put it all back together. And then we're gonna change the fuel filter too, but probably gonna have to open these carbs up again, which they were just rebuilt before I got the car, but I'm sure I've sucked up plenty of crap. So we'll probably pull the float covers off here and just clean it out nice and get it nice and clean. Make sure it may be perfectly clean in there. Doubt it, but maybe.
Well, maybe.
But
just maybe. It's always better to check it.
So basically, what I'm gonna try and get done today is fuel system ready for a drain plug, because I've got no drain plug. But I do have a boat tank, so if worse comes to worse, and it's full of gas. So worst comes to worst, we'll run it off the boat tank after we get everything cleared out, and we can at least test all my new modifications that are coming. And when I was pumping the tank out, I disconnected the coil here so you don't blow up your coil and fry your points. Even though I'm changing this coil and the whole distributor, it's good practice. If you're gonna have the key on for a while and you got one of these old cars, you want to disconnect that coil so you don't blow it up.
Oh yeah, there it is. It's like panning for gold, but it's rust. Yeah. Look at that nonsense. It's like coffee grain in there.
So as you can see, even the residue, this is like a little fine rust residue, and it makes the fuel really cloudy, and most fuel filters probably won't pick that fine of a residue up. So I'm assuming that's what the inside of my carburetor looks like.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you can see, I mean,
Right. How many colors we got?
All of them.
Wow. So looks like this was a good idea.
Yeah, we'll probably run it off the boat tank if we can get everything cleaned out today. All right, Buck, if you want to hit some airage down that line.
Nice. They gave me a gun and I'ma use it. Okay. Alright. Let me get in position here. There she is. I got it. Okay, we're in there.
Yeah. Ooh, nice and slow.
Okay.
Clear the line. Go ahead.
You feel the wind?
I felt it build pressure and go whoop.
Oh, well there.
A major blockage.
Nice. Got brake clean but no tubes. There it is, steal it, take it.
Pops out but it don't fit, it's too big.
Of course. It's like the new iPhone. We get the new iPhone, the old charger don't fit no more. Wow. Didn't know we were making coffee. It's like a riverbed in there. Alright, sure got some gold in there now. How many colors we got, man? Are we millionaires yet?
I watch Gold Rush and this is how it works.
Yeah. Look, we're all millionaires. It's just in the ground. We just have to find it.
Yep.
We're all millionaires here.
One more thing and clean one more thing.
I'll get that little guy out.
Yep. There we go. Another Tefl tent success story. Oh yeah, we gotta clean her out a little bit. Not bad though, not bad.
Wow! Never seen that fuel additive before.
Filler neck and that little pickup. Just make sure they go into their respective. There's a trunk there. Into their respective holes.
Where's that little guy? Is he going inside? Oh, there he goes, right back there. Couple modifications.
Pan is bent right here.
Yo, we're a mechanic shop, a body shop.
Nope, I am not a body shop.
We're working on the body right now. Modifications. That's at least 60 bucks an hour right there. Look at that. Just hit it with some spray paint, good as new. That or the bigger one.
Let me see.
There's a big one and a little one.
Where's the little one? It's the one for me right there.
Yeah.
There's this guy. He had a 55 or 56 Chevy. Nice car. Never met the guy until this one time. Me and my buddy were turning on to get on the highway to head back to work after lunch. And the guy's gas tank is laying in the middle of the road. And the car's sitting right next to it. And he's sitting in a lawn chair waiting for his son-in-law, I guess it was, to try and get it put back in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna need to figure something out because this is like the third or fourth time this has happened. And I'm like, put some Loctite or some lock nuts on those straps.
Yeah. Can you get the exhaust back up?
Yep. And then there's not a whole lot we need to do underneath the car, buddy. Well, I gotta put shocks in it too. May as well. Where's that penetrating oil? You know, that may be easier to replace with the exhaust out of the way right now. So we'll probably do that. Replace these two back shocks right quick. Maybe these are gonna come right out. They won't be like every other shock I've ever replaced in my life. Okay.
I'm getting the new ones.
Had it. Lost it. Give me like a 15 mil third drawer down, big side on the bottom box. There's a ratchet and ratchet. I think there's a 15 in there.
13, 15, yep.
It's bigger. Try 16.
Yeah, 16. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Big ratchet right there.
I'm actually looking for a little bushing that I just had and dropped. Here it is. And now I'm looking for a nut.
Oh, this is right here.
Not that nut. A different nut.
Not this guy?
That nut.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to find the drain plug for the radiator.
I don't see one. Oh, right there.
Oh.
Yes.
If it works, it works. We got an arrangement.
That's the engine breather. What do you think of this car, Buck?
I like it.
How much you pay for it?
Huh?
How much you pay me for it?
$12.
What about trades? What do you got?
I got a empty McDonald's cup in my car
Okay, what else you got?
with a straw and a piece of straw paper, bottom half.
I don't use the lid, so straw it doesn't really help me. But the cup you can use that a few times before
Yeah.
the dishwasher melts it.
There you go.
But what else you got? Like a broken trash can or something?
Yeah, I got a lighter.
Are you all out of broken trash cans?
Yeah, I got a lighter though, but the little wheel thing is off of it, fell off. But you can, I guess you can order one of those from eBay.
Well, you can use another lighter to light it.
Yes, because there is like a couple drops of gas still in it.
Yeah, so it could still work.
So yeah, I'll help you out. But yeah, it's a cool car. I like it. I like the front of it. You can't miss it, you know? You'll know exactly what that is. It's a $12 car.
Coolant swap, oil change, electronic ignition.
Sweet.
Another cool thing I'd like to highlight about Welsh Jaguar. It says on the hose what it is.
What it
Hose
is?
heater 90 degree. Right here we got hose lower pump to pipe, whatever that means. This one right here. Hose rad top. I mean that's.
But
I think that's how it goes like that. Well, that's the end of that hose plant. Good thing I have a fresh assortment. Although, this being a British car and all, it should have Jubilee clips.
oh yeah, I did mention that, yeah. Like the Queen Jubilee.
I think that's been on there a while. She's a size 24, 2-inch diameter. You can tell that because of the way that it is.
It is not even nothing. It is not nothing. It's just no. No. Oh. That looks painful.
That's what this is. I actually bought a set of these, but I have they make a set one that comes around like that. That works good if you're trying to yank it off.
I was cleaning my fingernails with that right before I started.
Oh, good.
Worked like a charm. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. See? Boom.
Oh yeah. I should lose. There it is.
Flex and fit.
Yeah, it's been under a minute.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, I'm using my toothbrush again, man.
We get a good, nice, smooth surface here. So we've got a good mating surface, so we can get a nice clamp seal.
No leakage.
That's what the name of the game is.
With the new style.
This is it. Replacement. It's gonna sit in here like that. And there's only one way this can go in, right? Well, two ways. It can be here, are here, right?
Yeah.
And so we can look on the engine. The proper way to do this is to set the number 1 at top dead. Set your rotor to number 1. I'm willing to take the gamble, but I'm gonna do this right.
So it's like a 50-50 shot.
It's a 50-50 chance, but
So if you get it wrong, what is that?
see-
It's just half off, basically? Or
it'll run
is it-
like crap if it runs at all.
Yeah.
But see where that thing's pointing?
Oh, yeah.
So we know if we set it about here, it's probably gonna be
that is pointing.
probably gonna be pretty close. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna set it in like this, right? We got this nice little O-ring. Probably wouldn't hurt to put a little dowel, some silicone on there, help lube that up. I'll probably just take a little bit of motor oil because I don't have any dowel here. Big thing is I can't see where the distributor hold down is, and then getting a wrench on this vacuum advance is going to be kind of fun. And then especially because this vacuum advance just uses a hose with a clamp on it. Really, you probably don't even need a clamp, but it wouldn't hurt. I see it. I see it. I feel it. It goes right here. And that's the problem. That is finger tight.
Ooh, you're moving it right now?
Yep. So as you can see, that is finger tight. That, I'm telling you, this thing, it may be the death of me, but as you can see, I'm going to be dealing with a lot of stuff like that because I'm not the one who's gone over this car for the past 50 years or whatever. The guy that I got it from, I give him a lot of credit because it sounds like he let the professionals maintain the car. It went to shops, so he can only do, if he sends it to a shop, he can only trust what they're doing. So, it's not really his fault. So, try and find the distributor hold down, figure out how this contraption works. I feel a hold down of sorts, but I have no clue. Oh, it's just a clamp. Just loosen up, so we'll put a socket on there. That'll be easy enough to get to.
Use the force, CJ.
I think some people have pulled the engine out to take the distributor out of these cars.
I can see why. It is free. Please hold. A representative will be right with you.
British standard. I'm about to go get that freaking pipe wrench.
Just like with people, sometimes the smallest knot will cause the most trouble.
That could be taken in more
That can be
ways
taken
than
more
one.
than one way, now that I think about it. I mean, like a crazy person. So this is all electronic or whatever?
Yeah.
This is electric, this is electronic.
Ooh, these points look pretty sorry on this thing. Okay.
Well, it's a good thing we got a new one. Vacuum advance. Tubage. Trying to squeeze that on.
And you can kind of see, if you look down in there, you can kind of see the grooves that the distributor sits in.
Yeah, you see it. And just a little wing over here.
Well, that's what they intended anyway. There it goes. Get that vacuum advance up somewhere along the way, and we'll be in business. Also, I want to set the record straight. In one of our prior episodes, I mentioned I may have bought this at Harbor Freight. Bought it on Amazon. It's a Lyle.
Okay.
L-I-S-L-E.
So you told a Lyle.
I did.
You lied.
I thought I had bought it at Harbor Freight, but I didn't.
You lied to us. That's what you're saying. By accident.
I lied. Oh no. I wonder what that wire went to. I'm assuming that's the temp probe right there, so remind me, we're gonna need to fix that one of these days. Vacuum advance is hooked up. And now it's time to tighten the distributor down. Actually, I'm probably gonna leave that loose for now because I may
Have to flip it?
I may have, no, not flip it, but I may have to,
Adjust it.
yeah, adjust it a little bit. This sucker, who even knows what this is right here? I don't know.
Something, a breather.
It's gotta be, because there's no clamps on it or anything. And that unhooked for now. We'll get the cap on it. Alright, just a quick update. I got these ridiculous looking spark plug wires in, which definitely do not have the right ends. They're 90s, they should definitely be straight up. So these is completely temporary. I'm going to make a set of, I'll make a set of plugs for it, plug wires for it. They're all hooked into the distributor. So now I've got to do, I got to clean the float bowls out. I'd really like to do that soon. And I'm gonna do the positive negative ground reversal trick. It'll be a positive ground car. Gotta put water in it, swap the coil out, and that should be about it. So I didn't film some of the stuff, but I got it back up and running. I've still got to finish up some odds and ends tomorrow with it, but boy, I'll call this a successful day. Running smooth, starts smooth. Got a few things to finish up tomorrow. It's a good day. It's about 10:30 at night. I'm gonna call it a day. And yeah, so pretty happy with that. Reckon you gotta choke it, I don't know yet. Oh yeah, she starts pulling fuel immediately. Idles right down, choke immediately. Charging. How do you like them apples? I'd really say that's a success. Today I'm gonna put it back up on jack stands, button up a few things on it, get it ready for the road. I'm hoping to drive it to work tomorrow, so we'll see if that happens. On today's list of crap to get accomplished, I'm gonna try and go ahead, get the cooling system serviced. I got a couple more hoses to replace, a couple more lines. We'll go ahead and change the oil. Running the VR1, it's like $10 a quart. It's ridiculously expensive, but it's got the zinc in it. It's 2050 because I think that's the only way they make it. We've got a Wix filter for it. I noticed one of my comments from our last video. We didn't actually show on camera. I was putting some marble down the cylinders before we started it. So I'm gonna throw a little marble in the oil, a little bit of marble in the, fuel, and yeah, I still got to do the front shocks. So front shocks, oil change, cooling system, button up a few more little wires, couple more lines, couple more hoses, and try and get it washed up today. Probably gonna do a brake bleed. New distributor is in. I got to tighten up the clamp down on it, and I got the timing set pretty good. I just wanted to talk about real quick what I had to do the negative ground conversion. I've got two red cables, of course, because, you know, but here's your negative, here's your positive. I don't know if you can really see that, but so positive, starter solenoid, negative comes down to this ground. Basically, switch those wires, obviously, because you're going to a negative ground. You're going to want to flip your coil wires. So what was once negative is now positive, negative. Okay, so you have on the positive side of the coil, you have two wires. This kit I bought off eBay for these cars, but it's the same general theory when you do any of these electronic ignition. So you have a 12-volt key power source to the positive side, and you also have your ignition module, which is this wire right here, which goes down to the distributor. So you got two wires in your hot, and then this is your other wire that goes to your distributor as well, negative side of the coil. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And then, you know, obviously coil wire to the distributor. That's it. That's all you gotta do. So then you have to polarize the generator. So you'll see on this relay there's 3 letters. So the ones you're worried about are the battery in the field, so your 12-volt power source to your field side, and this is hooked to your generator. So So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take a jumper wire. I'll just use this piece of shrink tubing as a temporary jumper wire. I already did this. So you'll go down, you'll hook your jumper wire to your battery or your field source, either your field terminal or your battery power. And then you'll just, so I just dropped the heat shrink, but you'll just touch it, you'll see some sparks, boom. That's it, that's all you need to do. And it's polarized. What I've had to do on the inside. So one of the things I really think is cool about this car is they knew the electrical was crap from the factory, most likely. So I have the gauge panel. It's got these little 2 thumb screws up in the corners, and take those. This comes down, so you see your amp meter. You're gonna flip these around. So I've already done it. So you'll just, you know, this is kind of nice because it has spade connectors on the back. So I kind of like that. You just pull them off, switch them around, because if you don't, it'll show a discharge instead of charging, even though it's working fine. The only reason you have to flip this around is just so you read it goes to the right side. So if you didn't flip it around, it would just read discharge instead of charged. So other than that, that's all there is to it. Also, this radio, I do believe that you can like convert these radios to a negative ground, but I don't know how to do that. I'm sure I can figure it out, but I've never done it. And right now this is set up for a positive ground, so that stays off, disconnected. And I am putting in I bought a radio for it, but I'm not sure if I want to go with the radio or if I want to go with just a Bluetooth amplifier like I'm putting in the Champ truck. So I'm probably leaning more towards the Champ truck idea. New speaker behind here, maybe some speakers under the seats or somewhere, inconspicuous and out of the way, and just a Bluetooth amplifier. So that's in the very near future that'll happen. So I just right now I don't have the time to do it this weekend, so be for another day. But yeah, so that's all there is to it for a positive to negative ground conversion. It's super easy. Yeah, so I read some cases where you actually have to switch the wiring around for the fuel gauges and all that stuff, but I did not have to do that on this car. Also, one more thing I had to do. I just got this jumper wired in right now, but this was wired up for a positive ground, so the negative wire on the fuel pump was the hot and the red wire was your ground. So I've now reversed that, so red wire will be the hot again and this will be the ground, although I'm changing this fuel pump out, so that's why I have it just jumpered in there right now. So because I'm trying to find out, it's around here somewhere, I gotta find it, but I'd like to swap that out today too. So that's all there is to it, to do a positive to negative conversion. And like I said, it took, I don't know, 30-40 minutes really. So this kit, not a big fan of the kit. It's made by like these AccuSpark performance guys, I guess. These spark plug wires are just pitiful. They have 90s on them. They should definitely be straights, and then they should have one end disconnected so you can put it through the sheath, because there's a paper sheath that goes front to back to make it look nice. So these are already built and ready, and they work. They're fine for now, but very temporary, so don't mind this ridiculous looking mess I have here on top of the engine. Ignition seems to work very well. You know, we'll see how long it lasts. But other than that, I'm really thrilled with how easy it is to just drop a new distributor in this. It's not in the greatest spot to get to. It's kind of down in there. It's definitely easier to take these 2 hoses off. But you know, other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Anybody could do it. Very basic wiring diagram to do this conversion. I mean, it's really simple.
I gotta dig it though.
I don't hate it.
It looks performance.
No, it looks ridiculous.
It matches your coil.
Looks ridiculous.
I gotta dig it.
Looks ridiculous.
It's sporty, man. It's like extra 7 horsepower in each line. That's like 42 horsepower. Listen to that tiger. Cigarette lighter works?
Yep.
How many air conditioning slash blower?
That's all it is.
Wide bridge?
Wipers work. I don't know if that works. I doubt it.
That's the ejector seat. How many oil bits do we have? 40 something?
Dude, this thing runs so much smoother.
Yeah, I remember. It was kind of
so much better.
sputtering and everything. Ooh! That's cool. So we found a couple things that were just loose, not really connected, just kind of shoved into place, barely attached. This thing, it's a miracle it even ran to begin with.
Not so much that. It's the points were terrible.
Yeah.
The fuel tank was...
Just...
It's right up there with some of the worst I've seen. I have seen worse. That one didn't have any holes in it.
I think there were cleaner tanks on the Titanic.
If you look in the cab of the Champ there, you can get an update on the Champ.
Oh yeah! Almost forgot about that. Look at that. How cushiony and nice. There's a seat! We don't have to sit on the floor in the platform or a bucket full of rats. We can just... Oh, this carpet. Look. Carpentry is in. We got the dash. Oh yeah, the pad is kind of... Ooh, look at that. Nice and stretched. Dude, that is... It's basically there. I like that green, dude. I like the green with the black. That's a good idea.
I know it was a good idea. That's why I did it.
This is kind of semi-militaristic, but it isn't. It's just very kind of just classy.
Timeless.
Timeless. That's the word.
Yeah, he put some extra padding on the top here for you to rest your arm on. Put your arm on the...
Oh yeah, this way. This is for the.
Yeah.
This is the honey suite right here. Hey, how you doing?
Feel that padding? Right there at the top.
Oh,
How
yeah.
cushiony it is right there.
Yeah, it is got like a little extra deal there. This is for the sweetheart ride. Once you put your nose closer, it's so cold in here. You turn off the heater. So I just gotta, I gotta shift this way. And then this is where the bullet comes up. And, yeah, this is nice. I like this.
Really, I'd like to finish up the Jag before we go too far back into that.
Yeah.
Because the Jag is just a defense thing.
Yeah, then we can get that out of here so we have more room for activities.
Yeah.
Sparkled up the glass. Look at it. Would you look at it? Don't mind this. This is just what happens. But it looks like we're about to land this eagle. Jeffrey, take me for a spin.
Fantastic. Oh yeah. Well done. If you're watching this, love the car. Glad I finally got to get it kind of back up and running. Thanks for being such a great caretaker of it.
Running like a champ. We gotta contain this mess, but other than that, the Jag is wrapped up for the time being.
Yeah. that'll get us down the road this week. I'll put a drain plug in the fuel tank so I can use the regular fuel tank. And when I finally find my fuel pump, I'll stick that in there, but probably not going to film that.
Yeah. That's all for this episode. Join us next time.
Like, tag, share, and follow.
You heard the man.